We'll call me in order.
Commissioner Carlson?
Here.
Commissioner Mason? Commissioner Pye?
Yeah.
Commissioner Rivers? President Tremaine?
Here. Thank you.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I missed that memorial.
Yeah, it was a nice day.
Sorry, 10 to 1 on Texas. Anyway, we'll again. We have a motion for the minutes of the last meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for the regular meeting of the Park District and the Finance Committee meeting held on April 16th, 2026 as presented.
Questions on the motion? There are none.
Commissioner Carlson?
Right.
Commissioner Pye?
Aye.
President Tremaine?
Aye. And guest?
Mike will be agenda item number 9. He'll be presenting on that.
And that presentation will be
It will be on the sports arena floor rendering. If you look on it will be on this.
okay. Approval of the agenda.
Second.
Commissioner comments. I'll lead off with this. We've been doing a lot of digging into what the board is doing, both in the city and nationally, and even maybe even internationally. I definitely found some areas nationally and internationally that we may be able to benefit on Lake. There's a Great Lakes program called Great Lakes and St. Lawrence cities initiative. And Mayor here in Zion, Bill McKinney, he's on the board. I think he's stepping down. I did talk to him today. He wants to get together to talk about research documents, see what's available. He does think that there was money put aside for projects like what we have in front of you. So when I found out more about that, I'll bring it to the board. Another thing that I want to talk about, regardless of what my position is on the board, I seek approval for the board to do this. I want to kind of look at doing some benchmarking with the other boards or other participants within the state of Illinois to see what they're doing and what we're doing in comparison to bring us up to that position where, like I said, I want our part district to be a model. So I know we can do that, kind of compare. So kind of reaching out. I'm not taking the travel, but not just the travel. Definitely maybe a couple of Zoom calls. Gather this information. Other than that, everything's our district is doing good. I'm going ready for the summer. I can't stop. Around there, there's been activity there. Of course, that goes there every meeting. So thank you to the staff. I'm looking forward to this.
Memorial Day was really very good. I mean, I go pretty much every year wearing different hats, perhaps, but it's really in the community. Nothing special this year. The first speech was very moving and extraordinary sacrifice. And I really appreciate how much goes into this and how early you guys have. I mean, the flags are up like the night before or something, but I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into it. Everybody takes it for granted, but if you got there some time and there was no chairs set up. And I did find out that Superintendent of Parks Church Rillo, talking about the fountain, that he's got to personally crank that thing up. And it wasn't a button, and it's not like, you wake up and say, where's the fountain? I'm going to call Rich from now on. But there's some kind of a way he can make that happen. So it was a nice, beautiful fountain.
Yeah. Yeah, look at
I attended that too. It was really nice. I like the fountain on Emerald Ridge. Can we get that on once a week? No.
Sure, we can work on it.
Because it looks a lot nicer if
Yeah.
you just fountain on it. Impossible.
I think we
Yeah.
start something here.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think it would be nice if we could, at some point in the upcoming years, make the necessary repairs for it to just run. But
Yeah,
right now, as Doug had mentioned, Rich has to start it by hand.
yeah,
But it would be nice.
be nice if we can figure out
Mm-hmm.
what it would take.
Yeah.
Make it easier on much.
Mm-hmm.
Did there used to be lights on, two different color lights, or no? I thought I
There
remember.
were clear ones. In
Um,
Is that a very really expensive project? I've talked to a couple of people about doing problems and like the ones that run in Las Vegas, the company in charge of course, that's a massive project. But even just to reduce that minimum amount of jets, it's still not cheap.
That would be a major priority, but I mean, you come into town and stuff too, obviously. It is nice to have.
I feel that definitely I can't
Yeah.
people. Actually, people actually stop to go there.
Yeah. I would imagine we'd probably get a couple quotes on what it would cost to repair it, redo the infrastructure, mechanicals, and all that. We'd have to bring it to the board for approval on, is the board willing to put this kind of money into it?
I want to see what it would cost
Yeah.
us.
Thought process,
Impossible.
my thought process right now is yes,
Yeah.
we'll get there faster. We'll get the problems we have to make for.
Yeah, we've got a lot of old infrastructure like the fountain that Rich works hard on every day to make it, whether it's an HVAC unit or
It's not just our, I mean, it's all the infrastructure under there, right? Pipes, everything old, right?
it's gonna work well. I asked them one time to do a joint venture on painting the water tower out there by Jordan Park, like on the north side of town by Green Bay Road.
Yeah, I do.
Feel free to do it.
Which painting a water tower is pretty expensive.
Couple of us in David Park look awesome.
Thanks.
David Park look awesome. So we go first up the summer, but the grand flow, the bathroom and child interview look great.
Thanks.
Your staff is doing a good job.
Yeah, they're working hard. I'd say we're about 95%. David Park's about 95%. Final details. On the last page of the packet, and I put it on the last page, this is the flyer that Christine had created for the ribbon cutting ceremony to be held at David Park. So we're targeting June 13th from 11 to noon.
Then the soccer.
No, not the soccer fields. We'll just do a ribbon cutting where the board can cut the ribbon on like the playground area. So what is officially open now is obviously the parking lot, the walking loop, the playground, the skate park, the basketball courts, the pavilion shelter. So all of that, as you all see when you drive through there, is open. So I'd like to do that official ribbon cutting on the 13th. The soccer field, we're still doing a lot of work on the soccer field as far as putting fertilizers on it, really letting it grow in and get established, aerating it, putting sand on it. So, right now I would probably say maybe September, maybe a good 3 more months or so of growing to make sure it gets fully established. I actually did see the athletic director at the high school out there one time. He was walking the loop when I was out there, and he's like, "No, you guys are doing a smart thing by letting that field grow in." He's like, "When we did our practice soccer fields, we didn't really give them proper time to grow in, and they've always been sparse since."
What's the length on those?
We say half mile, just shy of a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's decent.
Yeah.
I would just say that you're pretty smart. Let the grass grow.
Yeah.
Maintain it, and we have to move it back till next spring. Change it back.
And in addition to the David Park ribbon cutting on that day, we'll also do a drone photo celebrating America's 250, like a community photo. I didn't have Christine was still finishing up the flyer for that and still finalizing the details on that. So I could shoot out as well the additional like community photo where Christine's planning for everyone to hold the American flag and then get a drone shot on that same. I don't see Commissioner's comments.
No, that's just
No,
good.
no,
That's
no.
just good. Attorney's report.
No report from the attorneys.
The motion for the
Make a motion to approve the Park District expenditures for April. The amount is $453,632.85.
questions on the motion?
Carlson?
Aye.
Commissioner Hyde?
Aye.
President Trump?
Aye. Executive Director's report.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to mention, although it was like an early May item, but Start Early held their groundbreaking ceremony for the Educare Lake County facility that's being currently built in Zion. You can see President Fermain in there. I believe you're number 3 from the right, aren't you?
Second.
Oh, second from the right. Yeah, there you are.
Yeah,
So,
those helmets were.
so it's a little overkill.
No, as soon as I bent over with the shovel, it goes.
Yeah, I know.
But I was looking at it, everybody else is having the same problem.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm strong and saying,
Yeah. So it was a nice groundbreaking event, and happy to have President Vermate represent the Park District in that groundbreaking. You know, we were an important partner to them on building that whole facility, as you remember, allowing them to use our Shiloh Golf property for their detention basin. I had also put in here toward the back of the packet a letter that Diana Rauner sent out, just kind of talking about, you know, Start Early in the Educare Lake County and thanking all the partners. You know, she thanks us in here in the letter. So,
not to be any part of that.
in addition to that, I also wanted to mention. So it was in April, you know, early April, but since we're still talking about April, the Easter egg hunt was another good turnout. I think it was Commissioner Carlson's first experience at the Easter egg hunt.
No trauma.
Kind of organized chaos that comes and goes pretty quick, but everyone has fun. So we had a good turnout. The weather wasn't great on that day. Jesse was there as well. But it was a nice turnout for the Easter egg hunt. And this works well with Mr. Munson being here. He can see the increase to our sports arena fitness studio. You know, as we've talked about before, these are the daily visits to, you know, our sports arena and fitness studio in this facility, which also leans into, you know, the project that we're proposing that Mike's going to talk about. So, you know, these are calendar years. So in 2025, you know, we had 208 visits. And you can just see with the investment that we've made, you know, in replacing the equipment and everything that we've been doing here, that the public is really responding to it. And we're really getting more and more traffic, which again, we'll lean into when we start talking about the resurfacing of the courts in the area, you know, directly.
Good point. I think there's a lot of competition, even if not that much here, but people do come for the amenities and feel to it. It's like,
Yeah.
well, you know, it's a big place. The more we offer, it seems like that.
Yeah.
To show up in the numbers, people would take us instead of going.
Yeah, I think it's been great that, you know, we've been making that investment. You know, the board's been supportive of that investment too, and the community and the public are really responding to it, right? You can tell that they appreciate it and they like it and they're spreading the word amongst their friends and everything.
Voting with their feet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Word of mouth goes pretty far with fitness, you know what I mean? So as soon as you replace something, hey, did you see that they replaced the treadmills or the strength equipment? It makes a big difference pretty quick.
Yeah, it has been great to see those numbers, and we see it in the revenues too. It's also a big reason as to why we're able to get that agreement with the hospital because their employees know what a great facility this is. So the hospital sees value in that.
Yeah, I appreciate taking the kind of
Yeah.
pushing that your own because years ago,
Yeah.
you had to take some labor on your part, obviously.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
waiting to do it.
yeah. As I got to know the CEO over there a little better, I was like, you know. We also had our Kiwanis one-day basketball camp on April 18th. We had a great turnout this year of 43 kids that attended the one-day camp. Held again in the fitness studio down there, so that's a good partnership with Kiwanis, and that's actually a great turnout, so that was nice to see. T-ball did start. There was a game yesterday. We have two T-ball teams currently going. Yesterday, was it the Maroon team? Played Winthrop Harbor on our fields over there. So again, there's a lot that goes into coordinating, just getting that off the ground, right? The volunteer coaches, the registrations, rich prep and fields, and all that kind of stuff. So it was really nice to see yesterday in the nice weather, just to see T-ball out there and to see all the families. I'll have a picture in next month's report, but just to see all the families and kids out there. So talking about, as I talked about in the finance meeting, some of the upgrades, that we're able to do, but, kind of still run a surplus. Like here's an example of just a renovation of the washrooms at Jordan Park. And I wish Carolyn was here to see this. I'm not sure if she's seen those in person. Carolyn lives right by Jordan Park. But on the left, you can see kind of like what the old Jordan Park facility. This is just the washroom facility in our building right next to the park. And then we did we epoxied the floors. Cleaned up the walls with some white paint. You can see some construction dust here still too in the picture, but new partitions in the washroom. These are like heavy duty commercial grade partitions, and it really just gives a nice look to a bathroom facility. So we're able to do this at Shiloh Park in those washrooms, which I think Doug we saw on the Easter egg hunt. Shiloh Park, Jordan Park, and David Park.
Things that we do just regular maintenance stuff, it's not a complaint process, right? People, if they have a complaint, they're probably telling somebody else. But
Yeah.
we just know that it looks like it got pretty bad.
Yeah.
So it's
Right.
just a regular cycle. Certain number of years, turn your attention, you turn your dollars.
Yeah, it's just us being proactive, Doug. Right? I mean, it's not a complaint of people saying, "Hey, we expect a cleaner, harder washroom." It's just us saying, how can we improve this? How can we make it better?
It could be proactive.
Yeah.
That's have a preventive maintenance program that could help people before they come about.
Yeah. Here's a picture of park maintenance installing some signage out at David. Signage. This specific sign here on the right was signage that Christine had created. This one here is the court rules. In working with the vendor that she works with to get all these good signs printed up. And there's another one off by the skate park that's like skate park rules. Which these kind of signs, they just give our park rangers like a little bit of backup to say, hey, no, you can't ride your skateboard or whatever on the basketball court or whatever else.
Part of what we talked about, after the conference, show pictures or things that not necessarily a little, I can't, go around. Is that like a skateboard with a nice little type thing?
Yeah.
Because sometimes merely we talked about that. I think
We did.
For people visually, just it's nice to have a picture of. I forget what the discussed about that.
Yeah, we actually, Doug, just give me 1 second to flip through it. We just completed that communication panel today, which I think is what you're referring to. And so I can give you kind of like an advanced look of what that communication panel is going to look like.
Yeah.
Very visual.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was just very impressive. That's kind of universal language, right?
Yeah, so this will be the communication panel that we put out at Elizabeth Park. That park will be installed in about a month. And so this is kind of cool. I think this is what you were talking about. This one's also in English, Spanish, and for kids that are nonverbal or whatever, they can point and communicate. So this will be a
What's the size of it?
uh, I don't know off the top of my head.
A lot on there. It can be
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah. So just finishing up my report here. This, I think I texted everyone on the evening that it happened. We had a patron throw a cigarette into the mulch right there by our clubhouse. Started it on fire. Rich and I went out there, and obviously we still had golf staff out there and stuff like that, but, Rich cleaned it up, boarded it up. We've since had a contractor repair all of this, but thank goodness there were a couple people on the patio that noticed the smoke and went over and poured, their beer or water on it, whatever it was, to put it out. The fire department did come, tested everything. The fire department actually did, some of this, I don't want to say damage, but yeah. I think we were fortunate. And then just wanted to flip down to some flyers on some things that we've got coming up because the summer is pretty much in full swing. This Unity in the Community I put in last month's packet because that program has ended, but we really had good turnout for this. Celebrating diversity through dance, mix of soul, Latin, and country line dancing. And from what I understand, we had about 20 people usually attending per night, held over at the Shiloh Center, so that was really cool. Obviously, this is the flyer for the July 4th celebration that will be held on July 4th. We'll have Bella Kane and our fireworks display, so that's going to be a great day. We have junior golf camp coming up in June. Shepherd's Crook well, this one's actually going to be hosted at Shiloh. They'll have another one later hosted at Shepherd's Crook, but this is junior golf camp for ages 8 to 12, just kind of teaching kids the basics of golf. And you can see here that we've priced it for residents, essentially. Because this same program in other communities is easily like a $200 program. We have a PGA professional, his name is Sean Joyce, he's a PGA instructor, and he comes in and really teaches this program. So it's really organized, like high level. And so we're actually working to get a sponsorship from Rotary to cover the deficit of what that program is going to generate. Because we're just not pricing it like we should price it to break even. So we're asking Rotary for a $2,000 sponsorship to kind of plug the hole. We're almost there with them. Yeah, we'll get it. Also, Shepherd's has their 9 Wine and Dine, which is just kind of a fun event where they, you play 9 holes and have wine. So that's coming up also mid-June. And then our Concert in the Park series also starting like mid-June. Here's the lineup. Christine pretty much gets this booked by, November? Pretty much by November, she's got the lineup set and then puts the flyer together. So at 6:18. So we probably will miss her at our June meeting because she'll be out managing the concert. Day camp is starting up. We have all of our camp counselors hired, and it's just a matter of getting them trained. And Kay's been working with, the day camp counselors and the staff and the pool and the staff, getting everything planned and getting everyone ready to go. Much summer.
Pretty busy.
yeah, it's busy. It will be busy. And so, again, I just put the flyer on the last page so everyone was sure to see it.
One question I have about the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean this negative. Is anybody partnering with us? The Zeidman Township or the city?
The city, I mean, no, nothing different this year than any other year.
And so the city gives something. So township ever
But the township falls underneath the city, they share the same board. So they don't do.
They don't do anything additional. The city contributes 14,000 towards fireworks.
I guess the question is, I'll leave it later.
Yeah.
I thought the township was separate from
Their governing board is the same. They do have their own separate tax levy.
the city. Right.
So the township will levy tax and the city will levy tax. But the board is.
If the city's doing it, the township probably wouldn't, right? Let the represented by the other.
Representative.
Yeah. I mean, I think. Yeah, I mean, I think the township's operating budget is the tax money, right? I don't think the city puts in any additional into the township. So I see what you're saying as far as kind of separate that way.
And it's not all money. It could be just out tax all it.
So all of the tax and the library, the school, they will all help communicate and share. All of these events that you see, they're including.
Yep,
That's it. We'll move on to new business and number 9, the one.
Okay, so before Mike starts, this is Mike Munson from Direct Fitness Solutions. We do have a quote in here in addition to his rendering. The quote starts on page 65.
In the packets, I have both quotes.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did bring some additional information. And Direct Fitness Solutions is part of the Sourcewell Intergovernmental Purchasing Co-op. So we know that the prices as far as install, demo, and all the products and stuff are already pre-bid, so we can be confident that we're getting the best possible price because they're in the co-op. But I will put this rendering up and introduce Mike, who also has been a key partner for us in upgrading all of our fitness equipment. That's how we initially, well, that's why we're pulling with Mike now. He's been such a great partner for us over the last 3 years. So he's been really instrumental in helping us transform the fitness.
As soon as I came in, the numbers went through the roof. Right?
Go ahead.
I appreciate it. Mike Munson, Direct Fitness. I've been working with Direct Fitness for 13 years. A little bit about me. I grew up in the health club industry. My dad managed health clubs growing up in Vermont. So since I was this big, I've been running around health clubs and causing trouble. So yeah, I appreciate you guys inviting me today. We've been working hand in hand with you guys and upgrading and the fitness center, laying it out, new equipment, and it looks great in there. And the usage has been great. So that's awesome to see. What you got in front of you is a packet with a lot of information, and we can just flip through it if you want. Please stop me anytime. I get rolling. I get excited about this kind of stuff, and I get rolling here. So the first page is just a summary of kind of the project, right? The highlights of the flooring, the types of flooring, what it will do, like the pros really of the type of flooring we're looking at there. So that's kind of going through there. It's a different look than what you have now. I think probably what you have now is probably somewhere in the 15 to 20-year-old range, right? Yeah.
Closer to 20.
Yep. So and that's a typical lifespan for flooring. This will be no different than that as far as lifespan goes. But so that's just kind of the highlights there. That third page is more just a little bit about Direct Fitness Solutions. We're a 25-year-old company based out of Mundelein, Illinois. So we're an Illinois-based company, but we're a distributor of fitness equipment in 6 states in the Midwest. So we've got 16 reps just like me across 6 states, and we're looking to expand actually a little bit into Ohio here in the next 6 to 8 months, which is exciting. So we mainly do fitness equipment and fitness flooring. But we were started as a service company, so that's what makes my job a lot easier. We're a service company first. We started as a service company. The owners, Tim and Tim, we're selling equipment into commercial facilities, and they said, "You guys know anybody that can fix equipment?" And they're like, "Light bulb," and that's how they started Direct Fitness as a service company first. So, and that's kind of what we pride ourselves on, and it's you'll see sales reps come and go and selling the equipment, but I really pride myself on the service first. I was in the hospitality industry for 15 years before this, so pride myself on trying to be a service guy first, and then the rest will follow. So a little bit about Direct Fitness. Then we get into the kind of the renderings here. Is that fourth page? Different colors, different products than what you currently have now. You currently have now like a product called Mondo. Great sports performance flooring. There's certainly pros and cons. There's pros and cons to all the flooring out there, but these are the kind of the main colors, right? So the core would be something similar to this. I think we just changed it to just slightly different shade, right? Your keys will be green, right? So your basketball keys are going to be that green color. So on both courts, and then your surrounding area around the courts, around the track, will be this blue color, right? So it fits right in with your color scheme. Track, we're recommending this dark color, which I couldn't agree with more. It shows less dirt, less wear and tear. This product is an indoor-outdoor track material, so technically you could wear spikes on it if you wanted to. Obviously, we don't want anybody having spikes in here inside, but I mean that's it's as good as it gets as far as track material goes. And at the end, you can see right now you have batting cages that come out like this way, I believe. Right? Coming out that way. It's a great area to flip that around and have turf. Not only hash marks for sprints and things like that with your logo on there, but to run the batting cages that way as well. It's a 90-foot run from top to bottom, and we have just under 11 feet wide. And it would be this product. It would be this turf material. And the white is actually turf too. We don't paint it. It's white turf for your logos and for the hash marks. It looks really, really busy. It's just I wanted to show all the different lines for the courts, right? So obviously you have your bigger basketball court, and when I first came out here and measured, I measured this left one and I just doubled it. Oh my God, it's 2 basketball courts. Luckily, I double and triple check all the time. So when I came back, I'm like, you know what? It wasn't fitting. Like I was putting it into the model. I'm like, why is this not fitting? Well, this court is smaller by about 10 feet in length than this court. So I mocked it up the same exact way as what it normally is now, right? So you have your basketball lines in the black. You have your volleyball lines in the white for those. Then you have your 4 pickleball court lines in blue. And then obviously 3-lane track. It's 9 feet wide. The track, again, nothing changes there. I kept all the dimensions the same as what you currently have. And then we also have a little bit of extra in the blue color to do the runs for that first row of bleachers. So that's not pictured in the rendering, but we have extra material in there for that first run of bleachers too.
So I just want to say this is really a refresh of the layout that we have now, right?
Right.
It's not a change. We still have, like Mike said, pickleball courts striped out, the volleyball courts, the 2 basketball, the track. The only real big difference, I guess, would be the addition of the turf there on the right side. And we just thought that turf area, you're seeing that more in athletic facilities where people can get down and stretch or, just do a little workout there in the turf or even push like a weight sled or something like that. And then as Mike said too, potentially we could then hang a baseball batting cage from the ceiling and drop it down onto the turf. But that would be later. We want to get through this project. So I just want to make sure that the board is clear that we're not doing anything radical out there. It's just like
Kids are going to geek out over that turf. Like they're going to be running, all the time on there. There's a blown up. The next page after the rendering is a blow up of just the dimensions and the look of the turf.
Can we go back to why that coat is smaller than the coat?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
Rich might know. I don't know why. The layout that we're going to do is the same layout now. So
They're probably
Maryland probably could answer that question.
I,
But you can definitely tell when you see it because the 3-point line on the basketball court is closer on the right side to the center.
And on here, I printed this out with dimensions. So the left chord is 84 and a half length. This chord is 74.7 in length. Both obviously the same width, 50 inches, 55 inches.
My guess, Jesse, would be, because obviously it's a repurposed hockey arena, they did the court on the left, which is 84 feet, like you said, which is a standard high school court. So they probably said, let's at least get one standard size high school court, and then just let's see how much we have left over for the other one.
Because if this one was standard, obviously this pushes it 10 more feet out here, right? And then, let's see. You have 5 feet. This is 5 feet, right? So 5 feet and then another 5 feet. That's half of that track. And then if you want to have the track, you're right next to that wall. Maybe that was, I'm just thinking out loud of like why it was that way. But
you answer my next question.
What's that?
The camp that you picture, not enough room.
yeah, I mean, I guess you could, but like, then you lose this. And I really think this is a cool addition, not just replacement. You know what I mean?
Don't want to lose that.
Yeah.
Would be nice.
I think you also risk guys running full speed down the court, slamming into the wall because there's not enough area between you.
Right now, nobody is really noticed that it's.
No, and I didn't notice it just looking at it either. And when I tried to do the rendering, it wasn't fitting, and I'm like, "What is going on?" So I came back up, remeasured.
I can improve how skill I am by going to the shorter 3-point.
Yeah.
Those should be the same.
That was less.
The reason why they're the same is you can see the space. The space here is much smaller than much bigger. So all the dimensions of the course are the same. It's just more compact.
You can help me at all.
No,
sorry, I couldn't.
It's just shorter rim to rim.
I thought he was too. You gotta give us some help.
You don't go down and look at the effort to me.
Yeah.
It's hard to see with the naked eye. You don't really realize it. I was just down there when I was kind of waiting for you guys, and they were playing basketball on the shorter ones. Maybe they don't like running as far.
Yeah, it saves them a few steps.
5 feet less on either side.
How often do we have like 2 full court games at the same time? It doesn't have much.
No, it doesn't happen much. I would say typically you might have like the basketball going on one side and volleyball on the other.
That's what we have right now going on down there.
Basketball program, but they're young kids, so that isn't going to make much.
And I bet if you didn't say anything to anybody, no one knows the difference. It's 10 feet, which I guess is a lot, but like looking at a big court like that.
I wish these grown ups would look at that and say, "That's just my lucky science."
Yeah, I would.
That's
Yeah.
just my- Don't understand why.
Right.
Well, I do have one question.
Yeah.
How often could we be looking at doing something like this? A ballpark.
15, 20 years. Yeah, I mean, with maintenance and the way it is, yeah, I mean, it's designed to last that long, so as long as it's maintained, yeah, you would do that.
It must all be the same type of material, colors, just the track a little different, right?
Track's a little different. It's a softer material too. So like, not under. You'll notice it's slightly underfoot. So it's actually a little bit more forgiving. This is meant so that the track is roughly the same kind of density as the other one. This is going to be the thickness of the track. That's just the color. Right? So the thickness is going to be these thicknesses. Right? So these are 13 and a half or 14 and 13. And what we do is we just build it up 1 millimeter to make it flush. Right? It's going to be a little bit nicer underfoot for running and things like that than what you currently have now. What you currently have now, again, good material. It's just a lot firmer.
It's just applied kind of strong adhesive to the floor, right?
Yeah, yep.
Is it concrete?
We're open. So that's the great unknown that we don't know is once
It's
yeah,
concrete.
concrete. So
Concrete.
good. Yeah. It's always a mystery sometimes when you take stuff up. I know like under ice rinks is usually a pretty good bed of pretty solid concrete. What we do, so that leads me right into the how thick.
Floor?
Yeah, I mean that doesn't matter unless you're drilling something in, but obviously we're not. That kind of leads me into like the process of what we would do, right? So day one would be 2-3 trucks of mine, 3 guys apiece to meet probably 2 or 3 semis to unload all the material. So looking at all these roll goods, they're usually either in 30 or 50 foot rolls. They probably weigh anywhere from 500 to 900 pounds, right? So it's a lot of material. So we'd unload that. The only responsibility for the Zion Parts District is dumpsters, right? So that I can certainly order them. Usually we have the Parts District order them. I don't know. A lot of times there's relationships with whoever, right? So we need 30 yard dumpsters, and it's an unreal, awesome setup with a big garage door at the end just to throw all that stuff in there. And then the flooring install team comes in and just starts demo. So I wrote down kind of the days. Tear out, you're looking at about 2 to 3 days just tear out. They have a ride behind with it cuts that stuff up. You have a moisture area under there, so it should be pretty much floating, but it's still, I mean, it's a lot of material. You're talking almost 18,000 square feet or somewhere in that neighborhood, right? So 2 or 3 days for tear out. And then we call you guys in, just kind of survey the slab of the concrete. Just make sure no issue, no moisture. That's the biggest thing. Obviously, going over an old hockey rink is moisture. In my quote, I have actually 99% moisture adhesive, which means it will work up to 99% moisture, right? So I did that just as precautionary, going over an old hockey rink, and you have an existing vapor barrier there. So no matter what, we're going to be fine. But we'll do an inspection after we, they'll any kind of saw marks, saw lines for concrete lines, that'll all be skin coated, so it'll just be nice and fresh and ready to do. But really, the prep is the biggest part of it. The whole install. That's about 1 to 2 days, just depending on what we find. And then they lay this out. And they work from the middle outside, right? So they'll lay the court down the middle. They'll roll out all this stuff from here out, and down, and then the track kind of lasts and then surrounds. So that's the longest time. That's probably 10 to 14 working days of laying stuff out, and then obviously the install. So you're probably looking. So after the install, right, everything's glued down. It gets cleaned, and then it's striping time, and that's about 4 to 5 days. And the reason why that is, obviously, it's going to dry. There's a couple of coat process, and then there's clear coat over the paint on it. So you're probably looking around roughly 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks of being down where a portion of the track is down. I know that was a big concern. A question I was proposed to me is like, can we do half and half? It makes that process, the install more expensive because there's more labor and more time, and you're probably looking at it closer to like a couple of months, right? So now you're probably into like starting to get cold outside here in Illinois, unfortunately, right? And people want to be back inside, so it really just delays that process, by double. So
yeah, with that additional time and cost of doing half and half, we thought it was just better to just bite the bullet and just knock it out in one shot. Although that could mean 3 to 4 weeks of the year in town. But
The clear coat, would that also do the outer edge also?
So the clear coat will just go over the lines. So you don't clear coat the entire court. It just clear coat over the lines to make them. Yeah, right. So you don't clear coat the what you see there. That it does have a texture to it, which is nice. It has like kind of the wood grain type of texture to the courts. And then you see the truck.
So we did go. Was it yesterday? Yeah.
Tuesday.
It was Tuesday. So that was yesterday.
Oh,
so,
that was yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry. Yep.
Christine K, Lance Trey, myself, and Mike, and we went and visited 3 facilities that he had done recently. So we went to Elmhurst Park District's rec center. We went to Wheaton College's sports complex and Rosemont Health and Fitness. So we saw, this track that he had installed, this court that he had installed, the colors and everything like that. So.
Race?
No.
I challenge you guys to race.
We didn't, but we did visit in person those 3 facilities and talk to the facility managers.
Those were all ones we had enough time to, after the install, all these ones.
Yeah, so the Elmhurst has been 2 years. The Wheaton College has been 5. The track looked great there. And Rosemont Health and Fitness is probably about 6 to 8 months. And theirs was just pickleball courts, right? So but they happen to have blue and green, your exact colors. So I'll show these guys the exact colors that they did. They're ecstatic with it. I was happy because pickleball people. I play pickleball. My parents, are pickleballers, right? They're the most picky people in the entire world, right? If something is off, they'll tell you that, right? So, the fact that this product was just done for pickleball courts, kind of gives me peace of mind. Hopefully, you guys too peace of mind that I know I'm sure pickleball's here to stay for a while, and people certainly play a lot here. I would think so. You're not going to get any complaints about the ball bouncing or it sliding or whatever, right? So, um, this is a pretty. All these services are great multi-sport services, whether it be volleyball or basketball or pickleball. So,
So just a quote, we're hoping to make a decision tonight. So this large amount of competitivity, probably, and this is what you.
Yeah, well, yeah, two things. One, they are in the Sourcewell Purchasing Co-op, so we do know that the pricing is competitive. And two, we did get an additional quote from Kiefer, who was the company that did that floor initially, and they were actually 100,000 higher for their product, which was actually even a little bit thinner on the floor.
I did see that. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how Sourcewell works is that goes out to bid, right? And only certain products and companies are on there. So how Sourcewell pricing works is there's a ceiling. So for every single price has a ceiling where you cannot charge higher than this amount, right? So I actually wrote this down. And the reason why we're $100,000 less than Keeper Such because it's an inferior product. I gave you guys for example on the wood court, right? Sourcewell price is $8.83 a square foot. We're at $7.75. The reason why I'm doing that is because I want this to be a showcase facility for us and for you guys, right? And then like for the blue colors, so the blue and green colors, those are more expensive. Sourcewell price is $11. You guys are at $9.75. So you're saving $1.25 a square foot times 16,000 square feet. It adds up quite a bit. You know what I mean? Pretty quick, right? And so the reason why I'm doing that is because I want you guys have been great to me with the equipment and layouts and things like that. We also wanted to use this as a showcase facility for direct fitness. We'd certainly help with socials and do drone footage over top pictures and professional pictures too, and give that to you guys. And we'd certainly love to use them for our socials as well. So try to be as competitive as we can. So that's how Sourcewell works. You can't charge above a certain
I have 10 minutes. Large amount.
Yeah.
How do you
So-
thoughts?
Two things. We do have this budgeted in the construction fund. The total price on this is approximately $450,000. We are going to apply $250,000 of a grant toward this project.
We already have, or?
Yes. So a grant that, if you recall, and this is how long these grants take. We were allocated a grant from Senator Mary Edley Allen about 14 months ago or so for $250,000, and we just were notified that we were approved for those funds. And what's your project? How are you going to spend these funds? So we put $250,000 of DCEO funds toward this, and then we use the additional $200,000 from our construction fund. But we do have the full $450,000 budgeted in the construction fund.
Half down, half. All done. How's it?
How do we pay?
How's it paid out?
The grant is a reimbursement grant. So you have to spend it all, show the invoices, show the clear check to the vendor, and then send all that information.
Maybe I was reading questions. How does it pay for the vendor?
Yeah, I meant that's what I was asking.
for this amount and being some of it custom, we'd love half down and half net 30 after. We can work with you guys. You guys are a long established customer of ours, so however we want to work it out, we're fine with that. We'd love some money down because it is a large expense on our side just to purchase it.
Yeah, it would be.
So it's however you guys want to really do it, but there would be some money down. Whether that we can certainly work on that. We're flexible enough to work on that. So.
What you put your point you don't put you guys
Well, I mean, the vendor always likes to get as much as they can as soon as they can, and we like to hold back as much as we can for as long as we can. But I think it's always fair to pay them for like the material cost and what they're out of pocket, And then obviously, just like we do with all our other large capital projects, it's nice to hold that money back to say, hang on a minute, we have an issue. We're not writing that last check until you fix X, Y, and Z.
30
You
days.
know, not that we don't trust Mike.
Kind of a warranty, I suppose.
Yeah,
There's
yep.
a warranty.
10-year warranty, a year on the install. Usually, if something happens, it's going to happen in the first 2-3 months. A seam pop or some kind of, you know what I mean, install defect or something like that, a bubble, air bubble, something like that. The install company is a third-party company. It's called MG Flooring, but they work for us full time because we keep them that busy with 6 states, right? So they do nothing but flooring installs for us. It's an Illinois company too, which is great. Yeah, after it's complete, we wouldn't expect payment right away. We'd walk through with you guys, make sure everything is up to your standards, and make sure we've got all our T's crossed and stuff like that, and then I invoice you.
And I thought you do the same business. 5 years old.
Right.
Yeah, that was really helpful. So I appreciate Mike coordinating some different facilities. I mean, they're a little far away, but that's all right. You know, Rosemont and Wheaton and whatnot. But it was definitely worth the trip and the time that our group spent.
We just did some larger field house facilities, and as you can see later in your packet, there's some pictures of the other. Those are down in Indiana, so we don't want to drag you guys all the way down to Indiana. We just installed this same track at the University of Indiana too, maybe 3-4 months ago, right? So it's a top of the line track for the biggest universities in the country too.
So getting material, like
that's
that kind of stuff. I mean,
no problem getting it in here. No tariff or anything on there. It's the lead times is on the track is the thing that we have to, I guess, talk through. Is it's 14 to 18 weeks on the track. The rest of the material is 4 to 6. So that comes out of Pennsylvania. The track being totally made to order. You're looking at 14 to 16 weeks. That puts us in like the middle of September.
what's our date?
That was the date. I mean, since we've been talking to Mike from the start, we always knew it would be like a 4-month lead time. It's just that hard to get products and stuff like that. But we feel good about having it done before the real cold weather hits, and then we start to get more challenging. So that would be nice.
You can jump right in. Approve this tonight, then like tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not I'm not worried about the turf or the colors. It's the track. And between you, me, and the fence post, I placed an order for the track 2 weeks ago. If it doesn't go well for me tonight, I cancel that order because of the long lead time. But at least you're in line if it does go well, right? So I just did that, just knowing that we want to try to get closer to September as possible. So if something doesn't get approved, I call the vendor and say, "Hey, cancel that order." But I put it in line.
Faith is a good thing. So you just faith.
It wasn't even fake. It was just we've been talking a long time about like, hey, if this goes through, we want to try to get this as early as possible. Can we do this in July or August? And I'm like, if it was all that one product, I'd say let's do it in July. But it's that track lead time, right? Is the one. So I talked to the manufacturer. I said, hey, if I put this in just as I know there's a board meeting in 2 weeks, we at least get in line, possibly get ahead of a couple of projects that might push us closer to 18 weeks instead of the 14, right? So I'm maybe confident we could even possibly push it up to closer to the beginning of September. I want to obviously do this before it gets cold out and before everyone wants to get inside. And there's always a ton of people when I come here walking the track, right? So especially when it gets colder outside. So yeah. So So I tried to do my best on that, not knowing that I was going to get it, but like hopefully if it goes well, we're at least in line to get it a little bit quicker.
We motion on the partnership
I'm make a motion to accept the quote to demo and replace SAFS flooring in the amount of $449,641.15. Direct Fitness Solutions to the Sourcewell Intergovernmental Purchasing Cooperative authorized by the Illinois Government Joint Purchasing.
I second it. Now.
Commissioner Carlson?
Aye.
Aye. President?
Aye.
Thank
Your
you.
faith
Thank
worked
you
out,
for your
Mike.
time.
Yeah, it
Well,
worked
that's
out.
good. I really appreciate it. It's going to be an awesome project, and I think it will make a huge splash in the community, and just the usage down there. It was jumping down there, which was warms my heart, right? There's
Yeah.
volleyball going on, there's basketball going on, there's people walking the track. So
Will it make me walk faster? I mean,
yes, it would. Yeah.
at the high school. Seriously, I feel like I run faster, almost like my glory days. I'm a gazelle. I'm really not a tortoise.
Like I said, this track is like one of the top of the line products in the country, right? So like, it can't hurt. It can't hurt.
Might make your knees feel better, maybe.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be softer underfoot when you're walking and running around the track.
What's the millimeters on the track?
13. It's like 13 and a half, and then the other one's 14, right? So we'll just build that up to make it flush, and it flushes really nicely up with the turf as well, right? So that will butt up really nicely together, you know. So they're all butt up pretty. This isn't the right thickness, but it'll all butt up. So it'll be flush just like you guys have it now.
I think the Kiefer quote, Dave, for which I said was $100,000 more, was a 9mm thickness.
And this is 14 and 13, right? So definitely gonna be nice on it.
Yeah, but now you don't downstairs.
You walk that track. You walk that track.
Oh, full report on the court sizes.
Come on,
Oh, yes, all right.
I gotcha.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming.
Awesome. Thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it.
Well, we'll talk about the inside of investment of Park Board Austin. Year 26. I'll open it up. Past we haven't had basic format to follow. Well, that's decided to each position first, vote on that, and move to this way. So that we know the board knows what they're actually running for. And we know what I wanted.
Yeah, you know we do.
We know.
You know we give. It's the mean to Ellen. It was the one that
Thank you, guys.
So I'll call for nominations for president, vice president. So, ready? Okay, so I call for nominations for the office of treasurer.
Now we just.
Sorry, were you expecting me to do president first?
you the way you want.
Okay, I'll go.
No,
I'll call for nominations for the office of president.
Nominate Dave.
But the community.
Can I get a motion to close the nominations for president? Okay. Nominations for president are closed. All in favor of electing Commissioner Fermate to the office of president, say aye. Hold it. All in favor of electing Commissioner Carlson to the office of president, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, you voted for it. Yeah. Okay. Any opposed? I declare Commissioner Carlson elected to the office of president.
No.
Oh, was it?
I nominate Dave. Nominate me. And I voted for and my friend.
Oh, I just Dave's vote. Okay.
Yeah, so Dave and I voted for
Okay, got you. Sorry. I declare Commissioner Fermate elected to the office of president for a one-year term. Okay. Call for nominations for the office of vice president. Any further nominations for vice president? Can I get a motion to close the nominations for vice president? Nominations for vice president are closed. All in favor of electing Commissioner Carlson to the office of vice president, say aye. Any opposed? I declare by unanimous vote Commissioner Carlson elected to the office of vice president for a one-year term. Call for nominations for the office of treasurer.
Finances and stuff.
Questions and extensive.
Any further nominations for treasurer? Can I get a motion to close the nomination? All in favor of electing Commissioner Pai to the office of treasurer, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I declare by unanimous vote, Commissioner Pai elected to the office of treasurer for a one-year term. Yep. Yep, election's closed. Congrats to everybody.
Just one point I was making. This year I will take it for 1 year. As those on board members. I think we have a very qualified board. And I don't mind doing it, but I do think it's just have to move on. Well, there's a spot to put somebody puffing your ego off. The only thing is I will say is that one area will not that great job.
Got one thing. The, the, you guys,
Yeah, that'll be the next one.
what,
Those are the.
you can do everything at once.
So I think we did election of officers, and then we move on to the next one's appointments. The next one's appointments.
Because that's two separate items. So, okay, we'll move on. We'll move on to that was appointment for fiscal year 26, 27 for the officers, for the attorney of Good Bradley, Assistant Treasurer Eric Bradley, Assistant Secretary Kate Peterson, FOIA and UMA officers Eric Bradley, and Christine Gordon.
Yeah, you can do it.
Motion.
I second that.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Then, item 12, designation of regular board committee meeting dates, times, and locations for
I do have the schedule in the packet. It's also up there on the television. Obviously, the first one is today's meeting, so I asterisked that because it's on a Wednesday. Otherwise, this schedule follows our typical third Thursday of the month schedule, which I think is good because that consistency that people throughout the community kind of know that the park district meets on the third Thursday of the month at 7.
I in particular have a problem with, I'm okay with June and July. I just want to let the board know that I will not be available August 28th or September 17th. My day job is
I vote that.
August and September. Yeah, are you free the day before or the day after?
Those will be tough also. I know those particular days are tough. We'll still have another board, four more board members that
Trust me to run the meeting.
Right. So
I'll study up.
absolutely. 20th is Ricky Martin and
I would be okay if you were moving the day.
I think for 7 I think we'll try to work with the board. And then I'll talk to the other board members, see if they want to do it. There's probably one of those dates. We can, at this meeting, we can bring that up.
This time,
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
because we're going to move it down. Yes.
I'm comfortable with leaving it, whether right now, as long as it's not And I will put the board members to see what kind of audio, any other things, so we can try to adjust it. Yeah.
I mean,
Carlson?
Aye.
Aye. President Kennedy?
Okay, item number 13, designation of this depositories.
I just want to say that, this, I'm not recommending any changes from any of the depositories that we currently use. We primarily use Old National Bank up on Sheridan Road for our operating account. And then we used Wintrust Community Bank and Iptalaf funds for our investment account. The other ones that are on here are really just for, potential flexibility as far as like PNC and Fifth Third Bank. We don't use them. They are a little more local in case there was a problem. It would give us the ability. We don't have any intentions of using them or anything like that. It's just kind of on there for flexibility.
We have a motion to accept the designation of depositories. Your motion.
designation of depositories for district funds.
Second. Roll call. Roll call.
Carlson?
Aye.
Aye.
President?
And 14, budget appropriation ordinance 928. That's just a statement.
Yeah, can I just give some background on what the process is for this? So we work on our operating budget, in the winter, and then we have those budget committee meetings that we present to the board in March. And then we present the finalized, all the kind of the consolidated budgets to the board in April. That's really like our operating budget that we set and that we'll see, throughout the fiscal year on the treasurer's report. This budget and appropriation ordinance is like it's the standard legal format that we have to file with the county. And so, flip to page 74. So our budget ordinance then from our operating accounts gets a little bit more consolidated as far as like some of the reporting, right? It doesn't have the detail level that we have in our treasurer's report. But all of these things have to be in our ordinance. So it's a 12-page budget ordinance that we file with the county, which again gives us the ability to, it appropriates the funds so we have the legal authority to spend them. And the process is we have to put our budget and appropriation ordinance on file for public inspection, which is what we're doing tonight. And then there has to be 30 days from the time that it's on file until it's adopted. So there's actually not 30 days between our May meeting and our June meeting. So we will bring it back for adoption in the July meeting. And we'll hold a public hearing at that time in case anyone from the public wanted to come in and they've already viewed the budget and they could express concerns or anything like that at that time. And then the board can adopt the budget and appropriation ordinance. And then I file it with the county, which officially puts it on file as our funds being appropriated for these different sources.
So that was looking for a motion.
Yeah, so tonight we're just putting it on file for public inspection. So we'll then publish it on our website and we'll have it available downstairs at the leisure center if anyone wants to come in and view it.
Need a motion to the budget.
Public inspection.
Item number 15.
You want to do a roll, or you can do like an all in favor. Say aye.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Yeah, I know 13 resolution.
So this is what I was talking a little bit about in the financial committee meeting. So as we're at the end of the fiscal year here, I'm proposing 3 transfers between funds. So this would move money from the general fund to the construction fund, from the general fund to public liability, and from the rec fund to the pool. So let me flip back, kind of with that in mind, let me flip back to the cash position report. Um, so that means we would take 175,000 of our 1.5, and we would transfer it down to the construction fund. So this is really just no funds actually move. It all stays in the bank and all of that. It's really just accounting. It's just really accounting entries to move it to make it available in that fund. So that that 175,000 is really again just kind of saving money in construction for future projects. We would move 50,000 from the recreation fund down into the pool. We know that it requires at least that 27,804 to make it whole. This will give it a little bit of a cushion and a decent start into the next year. So 50,000 would kind of wipe out that negative. And then I'm also proposing another 50,000 down into the public liability fund, just to kind of try to boost that balance a little bit, to give it a little bit of a more healthy surplus in the public liability. You can see from year over year, because our insurance premium increased, that we actually drew down 30,000 in the public liability fund from the prior year. It went from 63 to 32. So transferring 50,000 in will make it a little bit healthier. We also adjusted our tax levy in there because of the increase in. That's for public liability insurance.
Okay, stay with this page.
Okay.
I'm going to get rid of blue show apostrophe
Yes.
next month.
Yes. I do think we have like an outstanding AP item for about 20,000. It might not show a positive of 23,000, which would be the difference in the 50 and the 27. But it should then allow the pool to start the new fiscal year a little bit positive. Yeah, if the resolution would cover it. Again, so we can't move. We can't move money between funds without a resolution, without board approval. So this will be one of the documents that the auditors will check to make sure that the board approved that fund movement.
Will we have to do this again? Again,
Yeah, because usually, so we plan a transfer from the rec fund to the pool. I think last year it was about our budgeted transfer where rec subsidizes the pool was about 135. Kind of knew with expenses it was going to be more than that. So yeah, in like January, I think we'll do another. That the pool season will be over. We'll kind of see if the pool tracked its budget pretty well. I think Kay's budget that she did for that pool transfer for this year is like it's like 140, 143. So in January we'll probably move again like a 120, 125 based on how the pool did, and then we'll do this again at the end of the fiscal year to finish it off. Mm-hmm.
Carlson.
Aye.
Brian.
Aye.
And this,
um,
all in favor?
uh,
Thank you all, appreciate it, and I will bring in some coffee.